Welcome back, wild ones! This is Cypris. This is another installment of Love This House, and this is what we're working on today. I would show you a picture of this piece of furniture upright, but I can't. It has broken and we're gonna fix it. And it's actually not a really involved repair, but we're gonna repair this sucker. So, I hate to admit how this broke. So, I sat on it. I'm not that heavy. If you look here, 2 screws are all that was holding this. Just 2 pieces of screw. 2 screws. And a little bit of glue, which clearly wasn't holding it super well. Although over here, I don't know if you could see that some of the glue was stronger than some of the wood, so that's actually going to help us when we glue it back together. So it's not because I've been eating more than my daily caloric allotment. I sat on the very edge of it, and it just crumpled because 2 screws is not enough to hold the whole thing. And so I got looking at how this is set up. These 3 pieces are glued together, and then these 2 skinny little boards running through are the only real support keeping this whole foot for this table together. And ideally you would have something a lot broader going across the whole thing, but if you look here, this is to attach the pedestal to the table, and that needs to be accessible. So what should have happened is that there should have been some other board, and that the hardware for the pedestal went all the way through that second board, and that didn't happen. So if I really wanted to fix it right, that is what I would do. I would get a larger piece of board and make sure I had the right kind of hardware to attach this all the way through. But this is a free piece of furniture. I like it so much. It's not worth the effort to me. I think I can fix it in a way that will be adequate, that doesn't involve major surgery, just minor surgery. So I've got these boards that I think they came out of a closet tear out. I don't think it was this closet. Maybe. Could have been. But they're nice solid old pieces of wood, and I can add some more here. What I'm going to do is not only kind of repair where these screws go and put the screws back in and re-glue it, we're going to add more screws throughout the whole thing so that there's a lot more connection, and I'm also going to add these and screw it through. I'd really like to have a big piece that goes through all the center, but like I said, I'd have to do a lot more work with getting the right hardware and reattaching the whole thing through both pieces of wood. So that's what we're doing today. Does this sound fun? I think this is fun. And if this should not be good enough and somebody larger than me sits on it and it breaks again, I'll fix it again and I'll do it right that time. But I think this will be adequate. So the first step is I gotta remember what the heck I did with these screws. But they're still in my pants pocket. So I gotta find those. We're gonna fill these holes. Now, the right way to do this would be to dig out chunk of the wood and implant a new chunk of wood if we want to keep the screw in the same place. But I'm going to be putting so many screws in this thing that I'm not going to need these screws to be doing the bulk of the work anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and put wood filler in those holes and screw it back in, and as the wood filler dries around that screw, it's actually a pretty good temporary non-structural solution. It's not a permanent solution and it's not a very strong solution, but it's going to be fine. What the heck did I do to my foot? Ow! I'll bet that hurt. I'll bet that hurt a lot, but I have no memory of doing that. Alright, got everything I need. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to start, this gets messy, I'm going to cram wood filler. Ooh, do I have anything to cram it with? That would be helpful. Hold that thought. Okay. Got my toothpick. And this is not the greatest implement to get this stuff out with. So I want to cram as much wood filler into this hole as I can. And it's okay if we get ultimately more than we need, because I want to make sure when the screw goes in here that what we end up with is a really tight bond in here, so that it is as stable as it can be. Like I said, this is not the appropriate fix for this, but I think when all is said and done, we're doing plenty here. Now, usually when you're using wood filler, you want it to dry before you move on to the next step, but in this case, I actually want it to dry with the screws in, so we can keep rolling. The next step, wood glue, so we can get these two pieces functioning back together again. I'm just going to put a little bead of wood glue. I'm going to feel like Norm Abram right now. A little bead of wood glue. And then I should use a brush to smooth this all in. And I even have brushes, but I don't know where the heck they are. And this project isn't big enough or important enough for me to tear the garage apart and organize it. It is still a spillover place of all sorts of things because I moved and nothing's organized and I didn't clean the garage yet, and I need to decide what goes where and where things need to have shelves and what goes in what cabinets, but I gotta clean the cabinets before I put stuff in the cabinets. Basically, it's just piles and piles and piles and nothing's organized. The workbench is not really accessible because it's got stuff on it, so I can't really work out in the garage like I should be working in the garage. So I need a new toothbrush anyway. I'm gonna use the toothbrush to instead of spending 2 hours looking for where my old paintbrushes are in the garage. And this is a little messier than I would like. The brush does not have the kind of control that a paintbrush would. But we know it's gonna get into those crevices, right? But we're gonna be wiping off the excess when we're done anyway. So if we squeeze a little out, we squeeze a little out. Boy, I don't think I've worked with wood glue since I was a kid. It has been that long. I don't know why this stuff's fresh. Must have inherited it from somebody. I can't remember the last time I would have bought any. Ooh, yeah, I got more on here than I need. But we'll just wipe up the excess when we're done. I feel like I'm brushing teeth. Let's see, I don't want to glue this in case I ever need to take it apart to work on it or something. I don't actually want to glue it to the pedestal. It's screwed in plenty strong enough. Alright. That is a gratuitous amount of glue. Holy cow. Well, what we got we're working with. Set that there for now and don't forget it. This is just a preliminary wipe up. I'm going to have more of a mess in a minute here. But first, I want to get it back where it goes. And I really want to wipe this stuff up because I'm not planning on refinishing it right away, and I don't want any residue showing if I can help it, because that would be bad. Need my handy drill to put these back in. That found the original hole just fine. I don't know where else it would have gone. Alright, so that helped tighten it up quite a bit. But that's still not secure enough for getting it to glue correctly. So I am prepared. If I can remember how these things work. I hope I don't damage the wood. I'll just have to make sure I don't tighten it too tight. Okay, how do these things work? These are always a little bit of a puzzle. No, unattached. That's not the point. That's doing it. I like that a whole lot better. Look at that glue ooze out. I did not foresee the glue coming out and pressing up against the strap. It totally makes sense though. I'm gonna go get some stuff to wedge in there so that I'm not gluing the strap to tape. Oh dang, I hope I don't need that receipt. I just realized it was for something that I got yesterday, and I usually keep receipts a while just in case they have a defect or something. Let's hope I don't need to return that. Go. Alright. These straps are not designed for woodworking, but for this project, working on what was a free, I keep wanting to say dresser or cabinet, it's a table. I didn't need to go out and get expensive woodworking clamps for this. Besides, with the curved edges, I mean, I'd have to, I don't know. This is working for me. Straps are not my forte. Okay, how did I do this? Right. And this time we got the... Sorry, you guys, it is hot in here. I can't run the air conditioner while I'm filming because it is so freaking loud. So I crank it down really cold, turn it off, and then I start filming, and like, it just, that's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a fresh cloth because I think at this point I'm just wiping glue around. There. think we've got this squared away so that it's tight. How long does this need to glue? Is it 24 hours? Clamp 30 minutes. So firmest bond, allowed to dry overnight. Well, we're gonna clamp it for at least 30 minutes. What time is it? I'll have to check. And come back to it because these straps are right in the way of where I want to put these other supports. But, you know what? We can continue because they're not in the way of adding more screws on here. So that's what we'll do next. But I'm going to check the time so I know when it's safe to, at the earliest, to take these straps off. But I'm going to leave them on as long as possible because I want it to be solid. Now, I'm going to drill some pilot holes where I want these other screws to go. I think 2 here, a couple here, both sides. So we'll have a total of 9 screws on each side. Each board will have a total of 6 screws holding it. And that's a lot more secure than 2. So let's see here. I was at not the hardware store last night. I was lazy. It was late. I went and sure enough, Walmart did have a section in their hardware for fasteners. I found some wood screws. I don't see any reason not to trust them even though they're from Walmart. Alrighty, so where were we? Oh wait, I just took that out for a reason. I'm gonna drill some pilot holes for these 1 1/4 inch wood screws here. And it would help if I could get into this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do this right. I should have all the screws that I need here. Alright. Trying to decide which drill bit makes the most sense. I think this second to smallest one does. We'll try this first. Alright, now we'll get to see how easy or not it is to drill through this piece of wood. Let's see, where do I want these? All the way. I just pushed that in. I didn't quite. Alright. This is going to take a while. Let's see if I did this right, and if I did, I'll just go ahead and drill the rest. Pilot hole's not deep enough. Which is what I was afraid of. Oh, so close. Okay, it's finally deep enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill a whole bunch of holes, and I'll be back and we'll screw them in. I feel like I need a sharper drill bit, but This is what we've got. Now, if I had the right tool, I could countersink this, but I don't actually have the right tool to make a countersink, so it's going to be a little goofy looking, unfortunately. I've drilled 2 holes for each section of wood on each side. My drill bit, it was so hot I couldn't even touch it. It was definitely hot enough to start a fire. I am getting tired. And I'm starting to feel like I am putting so many screws into this that it's gotta be good. Like, I'm not sure if I'm wimping out or if I'm just starting to come to a sense of how hard would somebody actually have to sit on this at this point to actually bust it? And how likely is that even gonna happen? So, I think at this point, I am gonna just put in the screws, not do this yet, and just see how sturdy it is. So I think maybe I was planning a little bit of overkill. It's just a decorative side table. After all, it is not a chair, but we'll see. I'm not really an engineer of any kind, so I am using my guts and my years and years of experience, but that doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. So let's get these screws in and stand it up. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to take these off, but we can at least get a look at the table in the upright position. And I've got to remember to get some more drill bits. I think this one is, I think I've used that one plenty. Bust the screw on that. I heard a little bit of a snap. All right. It's studded with all of these screws. So I think we're gonna call that good, and yeah, we'll just see how sturdy that is, because I think it's sturdy. We'll see. Okay, so I just realized I can't stand this up until I take these off because these stick out further than the feet. So we're going to get a look at this tomorrow morning or afternoon or something. You'll see it right now, but it's going to be tomorrow before I film it. So here is a flash forward to tomorrow when this is all set up the way it should be. So that was my fixing the little table project for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if we learned anything, but the table is functional again. It looks great, and I'm really happy I got to share the whole thing with you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my weird face, and until next time, keep it wild.